Well, we arrive in Croatia. So, yeah, judging by the look of the country, it's a very spectacular, I would say, shape. But we're gonna look at how they living on the coastline. I can already prevent you right now. It's gonna be amazing. But the problem that I see at with population, it's way too big. It's like almost 4 million people, and when a land like this should be like less than 1 million. But it is what it is. So let's start. Let's just dive right into it. Let's go on the coastline. I mean, it's so big. It's way so many islands. Just I don't even know where to start. Let's go randomly right here. Let's see how those small village here, so far away on that island, they live. And the water, it's already absolutely great. Again, the only problem that I can see, it's overcrowded. I would say overpopulated. Um, 4 times less population, they're gonna live way better. I mean, look at this pavement. It's absolutely perfect. They even have a car here, and that's I think it's an Italy registered car, and it feels like a Maserati to me, for God's sake. So they're doing very well financially. Hopefully, we are still in Croatia. I mean, not going to Italy, but no, Italy doesn't have islands that far away. And yeah, you can confirm by the license now, which is not covered, which is pretty interesting. They are part of European Union, so yeah, unfortunately they got on the other side, but it's gonna be interesting to see how much they improve compared with other countries that stay outside the European Union for a while and see. Okay, the best example is Switzerland, but not everybody. It is Switzerland, so yeah, I guess it's already known. That's a dog there, yeah. It looks like some sort of a military base here at some point, but look how nice it is. It's still well maintained. I mean, everything looking great here on this small island. Like I said, it's a place that you can actually live probably in peace without that much modern, let's say, influence. I don't know exactly what you can do here for a job or how well you can do by yourself, but I expect, like I say, in the next 25 years, things is gonna improve in a dramatic way, in a good way. So, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. Those countries would that have this nice landscape, there's gonna be probably the most thought countries that you wanna live in it. So the other ones, even though they are developed, it's not gonna be that much appealing. At least not for me. I mean, like I will give Paris and London and Berlin for a place like this anytime without blinking, for God's sake. Yeah, pretty big island, I would say, and there is so many we can check here. I mean, like clearly we do not have enough time, 100%. That it's way too much. This is a very narrow streets, some nice churches there. Yeah, housing in that part, not so great, I would say, but it does look pretty good. I mean, it's not so bad at all. And look at that, just a small tiny island there. Again, there is so much we can check here, and it's clearly a pretty big country, and the infrastructure here, it's also pretty big. I mean, look at these roads, how many you need to have, and they're looking very well. I mean, if you show me like this picture, I could say, that could be Sweden or Finland. Looking pretty good. The highway. Okay, let's check this one. Yeah, not even close. I mean, looking great. Yeah, it doesn't matter where you go. Oh, look at this. How tall it is here. It does look amazing. I mean, look, we think of the Greece and Spain and Italy, but country like this is not garbage. It is for the bottles from this guy. These countries like Montenegro, even Bosnia, Croatia now, they looking so good. You have to consider it here for vacation 100%. Again, not sure exactly how expensive it's gonna be, but the landscape 100% you're not gonna get disappointed. 100%, not even close. They are looking great. Cars also pretty good, but when you're living in places like this, Yeah, I kind of don't give a fuck about that unless they have some sort of a restriction, which is kind of from the European Union, which it sucks. Doesn't let you to live alone, which is kind of interesting. European Union says about those small populated countries in the east and even here in southern Europe that they have to reduce their carbon footprint and bullshit like that. And they barely consume any, and they produce any carbon footprint in those countries compared with what they have in their countries. But in the same time, they impose those strict rules. And I would say, yeah, impose those rules when you're gonna get our on our level, because that will never gonna happen. So don't force us to drive those nonsense small weird cars and say that under the name that you're gonna save the planet. You don't save anything. Even if entire Europe goes green, from what I understand, it's just gonna reduce the carbon foot by 6% of the world. So that's absolutely nothing. Nothing. So yeah, you destroy entire countries, you destroy entire economies. That's a nice life right there. For 6%, which is nothing, and even that 6% is gonna go to nothing when they say countries like India and China, it's already very industrialized. But when the India and Pakistan and those huge populated countries gonna grow even bigger, you're gonna see much bigger carbon footprint, as they like to call it, going to the net zero. And those idiots in the European Union keep saying that, yeah, it is a good thing going to like less polluted countries, cities, towns, but they are already very small polluters anyway, so it doesn't make any sense to just impose those rules. And in the meantime, you make more you destroy them more than improve it. So yeah, that's my opinion about this. But clear here in the in Croatia, yeah, it does look great no matter what. And I think they're in the European Union for what, 10 years, something like that. So not that long. But I bet even before that they doing pretty well. So yeah, judging by the other countries that we check so far, they're not in the European Union and they seem to do very well by themselves. Here probably is the same case. This is from 2019, just before pandemic. So how many when they got in 2014 in European Union, I don't remember, like already 5 years in probably, or maybe less. So yeah, they clearly didn't have so much impact in that short period of time. I like those pine trees, they look so great. So clearly you can see they done very well without them for long. I'm not sure exactly why they choose to go in, but yeah, probably in a few years they're gonna regret that pretty big. But yeah, so far they're looking pretty well. I mean, let's check this road here. How bad can be a road in the middle of nowhere? And no, it's pretty good actually. It's perfect. That's an interesting, nice house. Here in the more of the mountain area, let's call it like that, far away from the shoreline, things still looking pretty good. But yes, I prefer to live on that shoreline 10 times better than here, no matter how much nicer you make it here. That shoreline there, it was great. Truly is great. That's some sort of a lake. Yeah, I'm not advocating for every single road to be paved, only those in urban areas when or transitioning one. So here, this one is looking absolutely great. Pretty decent house, but the garden, it's even better. They look great. They look great. Yeah, houses have some work to do. I'm not sure if I would build a house here, I'll be honest. When you have such a nice coastline, I would kind of want to move there. I mean, here is not bad, I'm not saying it. But that coastline, ooh, way better. Here, not so bad either, but at the same time, again, that's the problem when you see that coastline. When you see that coastline, it's just, and it's so big, so it can't be that expensive. And the population is going down, most likely, right? Yeah, it started going down. So only good things. I don't know why they say, that's an expensive car, by the way. What they say, like, going down in population is so bad, everyone is gonna be much worse, the economy is gonna collapse. No, it's just nonsense. It's gonna be even better than that, and then whatever we have in my country, population goes down for the last 35 years, and we're doing at least economically better on the paper. Yeah, we got worse because of the taxes and all that bullshit that they have with those left parties and European Union. Otherwise, we will do much better than we're doing today. So yeah, even with less people and going older, you're still doing great. So there's no worry. I don't have a worries there. And things, let's say, you cannot. Oh, that's a really nice. I mean, the roads is not great, but it's kind of a small countryside road. This one, house is pretty good. Yeah, I would say even if you have like you hit some sort of a wall and they say you cannot afford pension, uh, make a free market and truly free market, and people's gonna actually open their businesses from anything and low taxes. So they're gonna kind of replace that with something like that, especially with the new generation, new old generation. We should call it that. We already know how to use computers, phones, apps, and all that stuff. So it's not like the old generation that we have right now that they can even change the time on their phone, for God's sake. So it's gonna be different. It's not gonna be the same old generation. That I think they don't take into consideration. It just assume that we're gonna be dumb as a monkey when we are older. So yeah, that's a really bad assumption, I would say. Wow, really narrow roads here. I would say that are pretty good also. I mean, for such a small road here, it's pretty good. Housing, yeah, not the greatest ones, but and unfinished. But the land is pretty good there. So at least there is hope for that. Man, look how big it is. I mean, it's huge. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know when to stop, for God's sake. Let's check this one. Looks like in a desert here, and it feels like that. But yeah, it looks great. I mean, look at the water here. Ooh. And the roads. This is 2011, so clearly before the European Union. So look how impeccable they are. So now probably if you want to build something like that, it's going to cost you like 10 times more because of the regulations. Although the quality doesn't change whatsoever, it might actually be worse. You're paying now 10 times more. Yeah, that's how things are done. What else can we see here? Yeah, pretty. I mean, like anywhere you go here in Croatia, it's kind of amazing. I don't know why people don't talk about. People wants to go because of obviously from the monetary value. Go in Western countries to work there, living in a miserable condition when they can earn a bit less, I would say, and stay home here and have a much better life. I mean, not even close. Let's face it. Yeah, probably they're gonna wake up at some point and say, yeah, it's not worth it to work outside the West and make those people richer with your work when you can stay in your own country. The problem with this staying in your own country is corruption, most likely, and lack of development. Nah, I don't think so anymore. I mean, like, if you have the people to stay there and bring them together to work, probably they're gonna catch up technologically at least. Well, yeah, we can improve some, borrow some technology from outside, no problem. But like in 10, 15 years, we can equal. I mean, look at the China, what they've done. So clearly they shows that in 10 years, we can catch up a lot. And you're going to live way better. Wow, probably that's a rich area here. Everybody has a pool here, for God's sake. Look at this. Wow, that's a really nice house. Roads pretty good also. See, spreading around the houses. Everyone has a pool here. Everyone is rich. Everyone is doing well. Some sort of olive oil here that they sell. I don't know. Again, pools everywhere. Expensive car. I will not buy cars like this. Just a bit money here. This is how you waste money with those cars. And you can buy something much more generic and it's gonna be much more reliable and cheaper. So that's a waste of money. I don't care how much money you have. That's a waste of money. Wow, they're doing pretty nice. It looks like a south of France, for God's sake. I mean, like in those Yugoslavian countries, you can pretty much find anything. You can have Greece influenced country that looks like Greece. You can have south of France, Italy. For God's sake, even some Switzerland and Austria at some point, but probably that's a bit too far. Let's say half of the Austria and Switzerland in the landscape department, obviously. They're doing pretty well. It's just, I don't know exactly how they managed to, again, everyone has a pool here. Yeah, it feels like they are brand new construction, which houses are way too big. First of all, I like this. Oh, expensive car that's not worth the money, by the way. And probably this brand, I think it's a Jaguar, yeah, it's gonna stop existing in 5 years. It already stopped making cars, so it's gonna be pretty much on the road to uh, destroy themselves. Maybe if they get lucky, the Chinese is gonna buy them and improve them. Otherwise, this apartment building should be demolished. It's absolutely horrible. That's not great at all. Nice pools here. Not so much privacy, so they need a bit more plants here, I would say. But overall, pretty good neighborhood if you have a right house to live. I mean, yeah, it is great. Unfortunately, it's not on the coastline, but you can see it's not that far away from the coastline, so it's manageable. You know, it's good, it's decent. Not the best coastline here, I would say, compared with what we saw in other regions, but pretty good, pretty good. Overall, I would say you can stay hours and hours in Croatia in those street views and 360. You're never gonna get bored. You're just gonna want to see more and more. And yeah, that's understandable. I mean, look at how they look. It is great. It is good. They done really well for themselves. I have to. They got lucky, of course, with the land. It is what it is. It's not much you can do about that, unless you want to invade another country to take the rest. But otherwise, it is what you got. And Croatia, they really got the long stick here. They doing very well. And again, we can stay here so much time, and we're never gonna get bored. The roads are pretty much great anywhere you go. Don't have problems with that. As you can see, even here, they're looking pretty good. Yeah, housing again pretty decent most of the time. Not perfect everything, but again, you're never gonna see perfect house anywhere in the world. Overall, definitely they're looking very, very well. And I think even here, countries in Balkans and in the Eastern Europe should stop seeing the West as the only way, because clearly it is not, in my opinion. It just shows that you can do pretty much fine on yourself. The only problem it is to have low corruption and a pretty motivated, I would say, population. Now let's go with the numbers. 3.8 million people population is pretty high, again, it's just the way it is. But look at this, 1955, 4 million people living in this land with 1% increase rate. That'll be roughly around 43,000 people. Migration minus 18,000 back then. And median age around 26 years old. Fertility rate 2.6. Density 73 people per square kilometers. 25% of the population living in urban area with, let's say, 1 million people to manage. Pretty high for 1955, I would say. Watch this. The biggest population as they have was around 4.8 million people in 1990s. Okay, so now it's 3.8 from 4.8, so they lose around a million. Not that much, I would say. But now in 2025, population is 3.8 million with minus 0.7% decrease rate. That will be roughly around minus 27,000 people. Migration minus 3,000 and a half. Median age 45 years old, and fertility rate 1.4, 1.5. Density 69 people per square kilometers, and urban area 61% of the population, which is 2.3 million to manage, which is quite a lot. The numbers are interesting. I mean, look at this. They start losing population since 1995, probably exactly after 1991. More exactly, they start losing it. But again, with the migration, they have on minus until 85, and then they have like a decade of 5 years, 10 years of plus, and then they got back to the minus. Sometimes they have on plus in 2022 and 2023, but then they bounce back in the minus, which is pretty interesting. Yeah. Forecast now by 2050, population is gonna be around 3.2 million people, which again, I think it's still too much for a place like this. Probably, like I said, with less than a million, they're gonna do way better. But again, it is what it is. Minus 0.78% decrease rate. That'll be roughly around minus 25,000 people. Migration is going to be very slowly, just under 1,000 people, which is good on minus. Minus 700, around that number. Median age 50 years old. Fertility rate 1.5, which is pretty good. Densities 58 people per square kilometers. That goes down, which is good again. Urban population 76% with 2.5 million people to manage, so not exactly a huge change. Life expectancy here is very high. It's 78, 79 years old for both sexes. Females, 82. And males, 75, 76. Very good numbers. Very high numbers, actually. Not that good, but they're very high numbers. They're too much, in case you're wondering. Infant mortality is 3.3 and death under the age of 5, 3.9. I would like to see those numbers under 3, but probably they're gonna go there pretty soon. So you can see they keep decreasing those numbers, which is good. Pyramid here, the same story. I mean, like the base is getting narrow, which is good. A bit of the male surplus population by the age of 40, 42, which is pretty high. And then we go in the female ones. Yeah, this base has to get narrow and narrow and narrow by the time, like I said, they have to go around 1 million people, even below 1 million people for a land like this in a first wave. And then who knows, maybe 500,000 at some point and even lower than that. And then we're gonna see much more free land, much more actually free land. I don't think you're gonna see low cost land. It's gonna be like, hey, you wanna build a house here? We're gonna give you the land. We're gonna give you the materials if you want to just build a house, for God's sake. Don't stay in an apartment on the, or you want a second house? No problem. We're gonna give you to build a second house. I mean, it would be nice to have those times. Probably next century. I'm not sure if they're gonna have this century. With the left, which is weird. The left that are in power usually, now we're talking about the rest of the European Union, they should go for this policy, but even they don't go for that, which is insane. I mean, like, what kind of left you are? Okay, so economic wise, let's see how they're doing. They have a really nice picture. Look at this. That's a nice picture. I mean, like, they're doing really well, for God's sake. GDP, wow. Here you're gonna see a bit bigger numbers because it's a bigger population. It's 103 billion US dollars and almost 200 billion US dollars PPP. Growing rate is 3.3, 3.9, 3.1. So yeah, they increase very small for 100 billion US dollars economy. They should have at least 10% per year, but it is what it is. Per capita is 26,000 US dollars and PPP around 51,000 US dollars. Again, a bit lower. So you can imagine you can have 3 times more than that if you have less than 1 million people in the population. So we're gonna see it. Inflation 4%, which is absolutely huge. Unemployment 4.1 and 16% youth unemployment. This youth unemployment, they calculated from 15 years old. I mean, like, it's insane. 15 to 24, I think. Who's gonna work at 15, 16, even 17, for God's sake? You have to count it from 18, maybe 20 until 30, I think 40, I'll be honest. That would be the youth unemployment in these modern days, for God's sake. So yeah, being part of European Union, yeah, they already see it, export a lot to Germany, Italy, Bosnia even. And they import a lot from Germany, Italy and Slovenia. They doing pretty decent, I would say. Corruption, let's see the corruption, how they doing. Well, a bit better, I would say, than the other 2 countries that we checked earlier. But yeah, let's see also. It is Croatia with 47 points. They are still perceived as more corrupt country and they dropped down 6 points. Ooh, things are not going well there, it means. That's pretty sad. I would expect to see them close to 69, so like the next year is gonna be in the blue one, like over 70. But no, they are perceived even today as more corrupt country, which is sad. It's sad because it's looking great. Okay, the capital is Zagreb. If you don't know, they speak Croatian. Obviously, they have like 87% Christians, and 6.4% no religion, and 2.3 others. So not that much even Islam here. Okay. Now here we have some pictures in the history that they have. Here they have, I think the Nixon it is. I'm not sure. It's a Nixon? Yeah, it's Nixon there. The stag is pretty interesting, I have to say. Looking pretty good. This is the European Union when they... Okay, it became the 28th state of the European Union in 2013. And now they are 27. So they got down, we're gonna say, 1 position. Yeah, so in 2013 they go in. I thought it's got 2014 or 17. No, it's 2013. So they have more than 12 years in European Union. Wow, that's something. That's quite something. But we saw images from 2011, then they look very well. So again, I don't think it was necessary, but fine. Yeah, those images that they have there, those landscapes, that is just absolutely great. I mean, you can have a real nice vacation in those parts. I mean, like you don't have to travel far. If you are in Europe, yeah, I don't think we need to go in Thailand on so far away countries that you're gonna spend a lot of money on pretty much uh, plane tickets or whatever. You pretty much you can use the plane to go there. That's an interesting navy. The army is looking pretty decent in this picture, I have to say. Have these nice castles, monastery, whatever that it is. They have even a car manufacturer that I think they bought Bugatti now, so they're doing pretty well there with their cars, which is interesting. Yeah, nice forts, nice history there. I mean, like, look at this page. I mean, like, it's great. What I like about them is like it doesn't seem to be that more man-made. Let's call it like that. It's not that you're gonna see much. I mean, you just go there with a towel and that's it. You don't need anything else, which is good. I like it. They have some sort of oh, that's a nice military plane. I mean, they have some interesting facts here. They have nice trains. I'm sure it's not perfect, but wow, that's a really nice bridge. I'm not sure exactly where that is, but look how nice illuminated it is. I mean, I'm not sure about these colors. If they were all be like this nice warm tone of yellow, it's gonna be much better, but it looks pretty good even like that. They have really nice stuff there. Do they need to go in the European Union to, I don't know, deal with all the nonsense that they have? We will see. So yeah, overall, what was happening here? Just go up. Overall, they're looking pretty well. I mean, it truly is a nice country to get born and live. Even though, again, we might not have all the money in the world and stuff like that, you're still doing pretty well. This is the national football team, I guess. This one, I don't remember exactly how he names it is, but it's a really good players. Yeah, they're looking sharp. It truly does look sharp. Croatia looks great. And want to have a vacation there, highly recommend it. I'm not sure again how the prices are, but if it's cheap, hopefully it's cheaper than we see in Spain, Italy, France, Germany. It is worth it. It is worth it for sure. It's a lot to see. I mean, like the only problem that you're gonna have is like you're not gonna see enough. That's how big and nice it is. So yeah, if you're living there, leave a comment, say how things are there. I'm sure on the ground level, on the day-to-day life, there are gonna be some problems as well as any other country. Good news is they don't have that many people, which is pretty good. So yeah, otherwise check the other videos that I make and see you next time.